Hey guys, Dave here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We're at episode 4 of the Last of Us discussion, and it's been really good so far. I really enjoyed this episode. It basically encompassed the whole bandit section of the game, and I thought it was done pretty damn good. And let's get into it. Ellie is like, it opens up and Ellie's in this bathroom and she's playing with her gun and stuff. And I actually noticed they paid really good attention to the gun. I've been playing the game, so using her gun in her section, I just beat the winter part, like for the thousandth time, but but her gun looks exactly like it. It's got that the part where the trigger is, where it just kind of goes straight. The gun kind of looks like Nevada, if you know what I mean, but sideways. It's weird. But anyways, I thought that was a cool detail. And so they siphoned some gas and stuff and they head on the road. And then they did the car scene with the tape and the magazine and stuff. And it was really funny. I thought it was good. It was almost 1-to-1. I appreciated that. They do deviate in certain areas, but nothing offensive, even in this episode. I really liked it. So as they're traveling and stuff, you get all these really cool overgrown shots from the sky, and I thought they were all really beautiful. So I thought I'd add them into this. So they stop at a campsite in the forest for the night, and this is like a new part. They didn't do this in the game, but it was kind of a cool little foreshadowing moment to like the bandits and all the craziness that we're about to see. You get little hints into Joel's life. He starts to break down that at one point he was one and stuff. So there's that fear of it, and he actually is like standing guard because he knows how easy it is to hunt humans, unfortunately. And then something I really loved about this episode, and this is just one of the first parts, but part of that camp scene is like joke bonding. Ellie's got this joke book, and there was some really good ones in there. I think my favorite one was at the end, but we'll get to that. We actually find out that when Tommy and Joel were out doing whatever they could to survive, that's when they ran into Tess. I didn't know that Joel was with Tess or with Tommy when they met Tess. And so that was kind of cool. There's little nuggets of information that you didn't get in the game that they add to this, and I like that. It's cool. So we get to the bandit car crash scene where he's like limping out and stuff. And I do have, out of like all the greatness, I do have one little sad moment that I wish was in there. I like that he says it's like, oh, he ain't even hurt, and then he just like runs straight toward him. And the guy's like, oh fuck, and he shoots and stuff. I really love that. It's kind of an iconic moment of the game, and I kind of wanted that as a 1-to-1. Small little whatever, but that's just me. The car crash was cool though. So Joel has to defend him and stuff. There's a cool little shootout. Replicated the gameplay pretty good. I liked it. At one point, Joel gets pinned down like he does, and Ellie has to like shoot the guy off of him and all that. But she like shoots him in the spine and paralyzes him, so he can't feel his legs. He starts begging for his life. He throws out his name to try to bond human to human and stuff. And Ellie's just kind of standing there frozen. God, I gotta say that his begging and stuff, and especially when he sends Ellie out of the room to like handle that, and he's like begging for his life. You hear like the stab and like his like wheezing and screaming at the very end. It's just brutal, and it's just unpleasant, but in a good way. You know, it's supposed to be. So we're introduced to a new character named Kathleen, who she seems to be running this group of like bandit survivor people. As Joel says, they're just people, but people are capable of crazy shit. So there's that. And she is no different. And she just straight up executes her doctor. They have this weird moment where they're like talking about it. But you do find out that they're chasing Henry. So there is a little bit of an add-on to the story where like there's reasons for them going after him or something. Although, unless I missed it, I didn't hear exactly why. I'm assuming we're probably going to hear that in the next episode. Something I really liked about that scene also is that they kind of show the numbers and kind of where they live. It's like a concrete jungle, and they have this thing with these barricades and people standing guard and stuff, just basically ready to just rob anybody that comes into the city. And I thought it was kind of cool to see more of that side of it, because you just don't. You're going through the narrative in the game, and it's hard to just stop and see that. Although that would be kind of cool. I guess when you get to David, you do start seeing a bit more of the bandit life. So there is that, but we haven't gotten to winter yet. So there was a really good touching moment where Joel apologizes to Ellie, just that she had to take that guy out, that she had to save him, that she had to take a life at that age. But it's not the first time Ellie's had to do something like that. Not that she's like happy about that or anything, or she knows that it's a big deal. So like right after that, there's a nice little also moment where Joel like teaches her how to use the gun and gets a nice grip. So he like grabs the top of the gun, so it kind of shows that like you have this nice and solid and all that. And I thought it was a nice little bonding moment. That was cool. So to get away from all these bandits that are chasing him and stuff, they gotta sleep up in this giant building. I think they go up like 37 floors or something. It's the only way they can really stay safe because they're not gonna really go up all those, and they probably wouldn't assume that you would. They'd probably assume that you're trying to get out of the city or something. But it works. And then there's this cool moment where Joel's like breaking the glass. He's just covering so they can't hear you, and she's just questioning him. It's like, what's all that? He's like, aren't you deaf and stuff? He's like, oh, I'll hear it. And I thought it was funny. They have nice little bickering and stuff. It's fun. Oh yeah, and then we have my favorite joke because there's a couple cracks of jokes, but this one was by far my favorite. The joke was, did you know diarrhea is hereditary? It runs in your genes. That one killed me. It was so stupid, and it made Joel laugh and it broke him. But that was a really cute moment. And so, they have a laugh and then they pass out. And then they wake up and who is it but Henry and Sam pointing guns right at their face? And then the episode ends right there. I gotta say, I think they totally wrapped up that part of the game really, really tightly. It was cool. They even introduced a little bit of extra stuff that was fun. I'm really loving this show. And now I'm super excited to see Henry and Sam's part of the story. We're going to go through the sewers. I'm hoping that we're going to see a lot of cool infected stuff because if I'm being honest, we need a little bit more infected in the show, and I think this would be a good moment because you have to hold out at the end of the level anyways, so we should be seeing more infected. And it's going to be, I don't know, Henry and Sam, that's a hard part of the story for me. It's just brutal. And it happens so quick. The first time it took me off guard. But I guess we'll save that for next week. We got to have something to talk about. So until then, have a good night, guys. I'm super tired. I stayed up, but I wanted to make all of this. So I'll see you later. I'll see you in episode 5. Bye-bye.